Only the what do you call it? The plan for the brief.
Oh, okay. When was that?
It was like last week, sir, before we presented.
Okay, because I've just downloaded it from Core Campus now. Tatile said, Leander, have you guys gone through the brief yet?
Not really, but I've seen it.
All right. Lesedi?
No, sir, I haven't as yet.
So let's go through it together then. I'm going to record this and post it in the WhatsApp group if it's possible. So yeah, this is the final assessment for the year. So it's going to take place between 10 November and 17 November. And I'll let you know the exact date like we did with the F3. But as I said with the F3, by 10 November, you should be done with this assignment. So you've got the whole month of October to do this assignment. I've already put you guys in groups. We are going to discuss that.
Sir, who am I in a group with?
Yeah, you don't listen.
Okay, sorry, please repeat yourself.
I said I've put you guys in groups. We are going to discuss that.
Oh, today?
Later. All right. So this assessment event is a group assignment and students will present at Flume Digital Marketing Agency, except for those who are based in Devon. Everyone is going to present. So the fact that it's a group assignment doesn't mean that you're going to have a group representative or a spokesperson who has got the courage to stand in front. Everyone is going to present. And despite being a group work, it doesn't mean that you're going to get the same marks. Okay? And you will see what I mean when it comes to marks allocation. So it will assess your knowledge, understanding, and ability to apply the basic concepts that you have learned so far. And in particular, you'll be expected to demonstrate your understanding of digital marketing strategy by practically creating, executing, and presenting a digital strategy. You must thoroughly research and apply the theories in internal analysis, customer analysis, competitor analysis, microenvironmental analysis, setting digital marketing objectives, digital strategies, digital tactics, varying the marketing mix, relationship marketing, and delivering digital CX. We have done all this in class. So this activity or this assessment, there's nothing to do with something that we did not learn. Everything that you guys are going to be doing, you already have notes, you already have the textbook, something that we have discussed in class, you already have recordings. So here we just want to see how you can apply this at industry level. That's why you have to go and present at Flume. So it's going to be out of 120 marks. The F3 was out of 110. So it means there's 10 extra marks for group work. So by virtue of being in a group, you are going to be given an opportunity to claim 10 marks. Yes, Kia, your hand is up.
Sir, can I bring my paper so that you can thoroughly show me like where I need improvement next week?
I'm free to do that as long as you can take positive and negative criticism.
So I'm used to criticism. It's fine.
Yes, you can do that. So you can bring your stuff, then we can discuss in class then. I'll give you my honest opinion.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Any questions again before we go to the actual brief? All right. So as you can see, this brief is going to focus on the fashion. F3 the focus was on alcohol. Here the focus is going to be fashion. Level.
Sure, sir.
Why are you late?
As the electricity came late.
Okay.
We were on load shedding from 12 until 2.
We just started with the S1. So it's going to be out of 120. And it means that all the tasks that are there are 5 tasks. The tasks are going to be out of 100. Then are going to have extra marks, 20 extra marks for individual presentation and group presentation. So this is the challenge that you guys need to bring a marketing solution for. Can you all see my screen, right? Okay, perfect. Faction brief. Read the following brief and execute a comprehensive digital strategy for Faction. About the brand. Faction's clothing is designed to be different to what you get in the market. It has unconventional designs with a special South African flavor, which is contemporary cultural prints and textures combined with the latest international trends. While the brand's positioning is provocative, its clothing designs are not. The challenge. Faction is a local fashion brand that has approached our agency to help them solve a key marketing challenge. For the past 10 years, they have been performing well in the market in terms of sales, brand salience, customer preference, and so on. In the past year, though, they have seen a sharp decline in sales. Consumer research has shown that people's affiliation with the brand is going down, and competitors are claiming more of Faction's key perceptual advantages, these being provocative, innovative, and exciting. In addition, competitors have been spending more budget to target Faction's core audience, often outspending the brand on campaigns. Target audience. So the demographics, it's 20 to 35-year-old males and females across all races. And the key income brackets is between 20,000 rands to 40,000 rands. Psychographics, people who value their individuality and do not want to conform to the boring everyday. They tend to be well informed about what is happening in the world, both local and abroad, and make up their mind about things. Then competitors, we've got Steve Madden, we've got Diesel, Gista Rose, Superdry, and Levi's. Then positioning, we've got fashion for those with an unconventional view of the world. Then the key strategic message is doing it your way is the way. With this message, we are advocating for and inspiring people to engage their individual views of the world and not just follow what is happening in the world and what is being said to them. Brand tone, challenging, provocative, exciting, and accepting. The current platforms that they have, Faction uses the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, which you know as Twitter, and digital display. The budget for the year is 1.5 million excluding production, and the revenue target for the year is 20 million rands. Deliverables. Overall, you need to advise the client on how to approach their market in a way that will reverse the sales declines. So you need to unpack the key challenge you think the client is facing with their audience. You need to research and advise the client on which platforms they should play on and how to use them. Would like to see how you would approach communications and digital media for the year. Propose at least one campaign the client can test during the year. Clearly show what messaging the client should be using. Unpack the target audience and the target audience research. Explain the digital and social ecosystems you would recommend the client should use. Which innovative tactics and technologies could the client use to stand out? Feel free to recommend any other exciting tactics to help the client win in the market. So that's the brief. Before we go to the tasks, are there any comments? Okay. So there are going to be 5 tasks. So it means that each group is going to have 5 members. And in this class, Digital Marketing 3, I've got 15 students. So it's actually easy to group you guys because it's 15. So we are going to have 3 groups. Okay. So in groups of 5, research and create a comprehensive digital strategy for fashion. There are 5 sections that each group member must present on. The sections are the components of the whole digital strategy the group will develop. In addition, the group must develop a unique name that will distinguish the group from other groups. Below are the sections each group member will focus on and present components of the fashion digital strategy. So the structure, the format, and the layout of this assessment is the same with the one that you did at FOOM last week, the F3. So what you are required to do is almost the same, but now you are going to do individual tasks instead of doing the entire assignment on your own. So for example, on task 1, only one person is going to present here, part A and part B on this task. And you have to spend 5 minutes here, okay? Then on task 2, second student will present here and spend 5 minutes here, and so on and so on. So realize that instead of doing 5 minutes on the entire assignment like you did on the F3, you are going to spend 5 minutes on section. So you shouldn't struggle with time management or something to say. Let's go through task 1. So the student who is going to do task 1 is going to introduce the presentation, introduce the group members, the name of the group, while we choose this name, as well as the action plan for the entire activity. So you must introduce your group, its name, its members, and provide a summary of the given brief, and briefly outline the action plan. So you need to briefly provide justification for the group's chosen name and briefly introduce your colleagues. You know, you need to be professional. For example, you can't introduce label and say that, yes, Kizzy on my right. the audience, students from Pretoria or Stefan, they do not know who Skizzy is. Okay? So you must know. I know sometimes this is more general, but sometimes you can have classmates and you do not know their full name, as in professional name, not these nicknames that you guys call each other. You can't say that on my left is TK. We don't know who TK is. So things like that, you can lose marks, by the way, because each and every component of this presentation has got marks, okay? So you introduce your colleagues, you provide a brief overview of what the group will achieve based on the given brief, the budget, the target audience, the competitors, and so on. So for the group name and the introductions, you're going to get 4 marks, and for the brief overview, you're going to get 6 marks. Then the same student, after introducing the group, will move on to part B. This is still the same person. Move on to part B and identify the trends currently influencing the South African fashion industry. Okay, it's clear that it says South African. We want to see something written Nigerian or Zimbabwean and so forth. You need to follow instruction, okay, and to know the context and the limit of the research that you're going to look at in terms of trends. So if something is trending in France or in America, it wouldn't feature here. So you need to highlight and explain the 3 current South African fashion industry trends. Use key observations, primary data, and key insights to highlight the current trends or occurrences in the industry. Remember to highlight the importance of these industry insights to fashion and how they will matter to your strategy. This is the challenge that I came across almost in all the presentations that you guys had. Because there was a question in the F3 that also mentioned the same thing, and you guys are good at giving the statistics, road accidents in the country, causes of road accidents, but very few of you were actually showing a link, with these accidents, the statistics that you are getting. How do they matter to your strategy? I think Stefan mentioned that as well. Don't just tell us that AMA 2000 are wearing crop tops as fashion. How does it matter to your strategy? What is the so what of the observations that you're getting from these trends? So you need to give us a lead. Show us that whatever that you are saying actually matters to your strategy. A lot is happening in terms of fashion, but how can you link that to the given brief? So always contextualize the findings that you are getting in the industry. So explaining the 3 trends are going to get 6 months, and highlighting the importance to fashion get 4 months. So that's the first task of the presentation that is going to be highlighted by the first student. So here it means 4 students are yet to present, only 1 student is presented on task 1. Are there any questions? Level, it looks easier. How do you feel?
It's okay, say.
It's better than F3, eh?
Yeah, because it's more like
F3 you had to do everything, but you are going to focus on 1 task.
Yeah.
Okay. However, remember, you are not going to do this on your own. That's why you need to do this in a group. I'm going to show you the link why you must do this. Karabo, how are you? Can you hear me, Karabo? You see the dangers of not being in the WhatsApp group. You are the only one on campus now. And everyone is online. Okay, now we move on to task 2. Task 2, you are going to do the environmental analysis. So that's also 20 marks. So these marks are equal. Task 1, it was 20 marks. And here it's also 20 marks. So you need to provide 5 fundamental facts of the business environment that you as a team, not only the student who is presenting on task 2, you need to discuss this as a team so that the group considered in the digital marketing strategy for fashion. So when you see it as a group, we are going to discuss this. What is it that you need to consider when you look at the wider environment? Then you discuss. You are just going to present here, but you need to discuss as a team. So you need to show that you understand the broader environment in which fashion operates, and you must provide 5 key facts and ensure you address each environment. So here we are going to do the pastel analysis. And as you can see on the pastel analysis, you have got 6 letters there. But here you are only asked to do 5. Okay. So followed by the insight or the so what that these facts highlight. Again, I have to emphasize here. So don't tell us that there's peer pressure like you guys did when you presented. Peer pressure and alcohol, peer pressure this. How does this peer pressure contribute to your strategy? What is the so what of this peer pressure? So whatever fact, environmental factor that are going to look at there, be it load shedding, be it rising fuel cost, you need to explain the so what of it. You need to tell us how is load shedding contributing to infection? How can it affect its marketing activities? You can look at media consumption, for example. When there's load shedding, it means people are not watching TV. So infection is good. Marketing activities on television, such as advertising bit on SABC1 or Mzansi Magic, it means that during load shedding, millions of South Africans are not exposed to that content. So you need to clearly show, Kia, can you hear this now? You need to elaborate, okay? Don't just mention that there's load shedding, because you can always look at load shedding at many angles, but you need to show us the relationship between what you're mentioning in terms of load shedding and how it influences or affects marketing activities of fashion. Karabo, your hand is up. You want to say something, Karabo? All right, I'm sure you can hear me because it took down. So don't just mention tough economic outlook, unemployment, Copy Act, whatever it is in terms of the pastel analysis. Please show us that you know what you're talking about. So by describing each factor, you are going to get 5 marks because it's 5 factors. Then explaining the so what, you're also going to get 5 marks. But if you just, describe the factor, it means that you've got half marks. You're not going to get 10 because you didn't answer what you asked. See, there's someone. Let me see who's in that. Oh, there's no one. Okay. So you need to fully answer the question. Then after the pastel analysis, you are going to do competitor analysis on part B. So this is the same person who did A. Now that person is doing B. Provide insights about the competitors mentioned in the brief. You need to first research the competitors. The competitors are already given So don't bring us new competitors there. Okay? Don't bring new competitors. For example, there's no Guess there. Okay? There's no Gucci, LV or whatever. You focus on those competitors that we provided, Steve Madden, and co. So you need to highlight what are the products and the service they offer, how are they selling, how are they communicating the product or service, and what is the main message. You did this in F1 and F2, if you remember. You must reference the facts, otherwise you get 0, even if you have a relevant fact. So simply draw a table and use the questions as headings. What are the products and service they offer? How are they selling? How are they communicating? And what is the main message? Okay? So that's how you need to do it. Remember, these references that you are getting here, they are not necessarily academic references. You don't need to go to the textbook to get the sources. You can say, according to their website, Diesel do A, B, C, D. According to their Facebook account, G-Star Row does A, B, C, D. Okay. We just need to see that you got this information from elsewhere. Because if we do not reference, we'll take it as if it's a lie, it's an assumption. So that's how you need to reference it. So it's 2 marks per competitor. That's task 2. Are there any questions on task 2? And you are going to do everything here, A and B here, in 5 minutes. Okay? Are there any questions? Leander?
No, sir, I don't have any right now.
Leander, who doesn't run the lecturer to love him?
Pardon?
Yeah, are there any questions?
No.
So,
Yes, thank you, sir.
on part B, I get it, task 2 is about environmental analysis. And
Yes.
then part B, they say, ensure you address each environment pestle analysis. Can you please explain part A for me, please?
I didn't get you. What did you say?
Task 2 is about environmental analysis. So can you please explain part B for me, since it is stating that we have to make sure that we address each environment pestle analysis.
I'm lost, my guy.
You don't understand.
I'm not getting you, so I want to give you wrong information.
Okay, can you please explain part A for me? Task
Part
2, part A.
Remember, this is
Yes.
we did environmental analysis, right? Environmental analysis is divided into 2. We've got what and what. Let's go back to our notes, guys. Environmental analysis is divided into 2. What is it that we have?
Macro and micro.
Good. Okay. So part A is looking at macro, which is the wider environment. And when we are doing the wider environment, you use pestle analysis. Then part B is doing the micro, which is the internal environment. And the focus here is on the competitors.
Okay, task 3, yeah, you're making sense. Yeah.
So are we together now? Okay. Any questions? Dibuzo.
Yeah.
Ego?
Yeah, so on the personal analysis, you have to define like each the letter.
It just depends on the layout of your presentation. You don't have to say, I'm now doing the personal analysis as I showed you guys. You can even go straight and say there's tough economic outlook, or you can put it on factors that may influence faction, then you go straight to your point.
Okay, but I'm just saying like how it contributes, like how vital it is to do microanalysis, or you just leave it like that and just like go straight to the whole thing. Then you'll just answer. So what?
So for me, what I can do, you don't have to explicitly say this is social, this is political, this is economic. The person who's marking is going to know what you're talking about. For example, Karabo talks about Ukamba. For him, he actually thought this is a social concept. So you just say it as it is. If it's Poppy Act, you know that this is a political or a legal factor. So you can just list your factors as you present. There won't be any problem, because the moment you are saying this is political, this is economic, this is environment, you must end up wasting time as well. Are you answered, LB?
Yes,
So we don't have to identify them, say.
You have to.
Okay.
You have to. All right. Tati?
Yeah.
God, the way you were so shivering, if I remember. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Oh, my Lesedi. How's it going there?
Good so far, sir. No questions.
Are you happy that this is the easiest thing you'll ever do?
Am I happy that what?
This is the easiest thing that you ever do.
Yes, sir, I guess.
All right, then we have got this third student on segmentation. Lots of you guys struggled here. That's where you lost many marks on F3. And the moment Stefan is asking you who is your target audience, just know that you didn't elaborate well your segmentation. Okay? You did not clearly say that this is the audience that I'm going to target. So most of you guys, whoever is going to do segmentation has to be strong here. The first part of segmentation, you need to provide 3 segments from the South African population and highlight the importance of the given target audience. So you are going to tell us that these are the segments that are available in South Africa as it stands when it comes to fashion. Remember, everything must link to what you are doing. So that's what you're going to say. These are the people that we need to consider when it comes to fashion. However, my focus, my target audience is going to be these people. So that's how you do it. My apologies here. It says 4 segments. It should be 3 segments. Here, ignore 4 segments. It's 3 segments. So you're going to give us 3 segments. Okay, you say, or maybe these are the baby boomers. They do wear clothes, so they do matter to fashion. Do you have any relationship? These are the youths, They don't go naked, they still need the fashion. And these are the teenagers. They also do wear something, they don't go naked. They are part of the fashion segment. Yeah. Then out of those 3, you say, this is the target that I'm going to concentrate on. This is the target that I'm going to focus on because of A, B, C, D. Okay? That's what you need to do then. I don't know if you guys have me clear, because it's going to be difficult for me to repeat on this one. So for selecting the 3 segments, you are going to get 6 marks. 6 marks. Okay? Then for selecting a segment for faction and highlighting the importance of the selected segment, you are going to get 4 marks. Okay. So you don't just say that I've chosen this segment. You actually need to show, to illustrate that this segment matters to fashion. Then we get your 4 marks. So that's the first part of task 3. Then the second part, you are going to create a buyer persona. Now, most of you guys also struggle with this buyer persona. Create a buyer persona and describe the persona of the target audience provided in the brief. Create a buyer persona for an individual aged between 20 and 35 years, who earns between 20 and 40,000 monthly. On the persona, you must also highlight and identify an individual who values individuality and do not want to conform to the boring daily. So this was mentioned in the brief. It must be an individual who tends to be well informed about what is happening in the world, both locally and abroad, and make up own mind about things. So out of the given range target audience that you're given in the brief, who is it that you want fashion to target? Who is a typical fashion consumer there? Is it a female? Or is it someone who's unisex, who can both be a female and a male? Is that person single? Is that person married? Is that person employed or self-employed to be earning 20,000 and 40,000? Is that person living in Johannesburg or KZN? Is that person Zulu? Is that person Xhosa? So you look at all those demographics. Is that person extrovert? Is that person introvert? Is that person interested in current affairs? So that's how you are going to create a buyer persona. So you are going to get 5 marks for creating a buyer persona, and you are going to get another 5 marks for the description of that persona. So that's part A and part B of task 3. Any questions? All right, if there are no questions, we'll move on. Then we've got task 4, which is going to be presented by the 4th student in a group. Here you need to come up with the actual strategy. And most of you guys, struggled with the SMART objective. By the way, for transparency's sake, can you please remind me when we meet in class next week so that I must bring your rubrics? I know some of you don't believe it. And it also helps, especially when you are cross-checking the marks. Maybe I put more than what Stephanie put, or I put less than what Stephanie put. So I still have your rubrics, guys. No, I need to give it to you so that you can see where you went wrong and stuff like that, even though you can see that on core campus, of course. How is that? Cool. Okay. So you need to outline a SMART objective of the digital marketing strategy and how it fits in with the key strategic messaging. So what is the key strategic messaging? It is already there. You don't have to go and look for it. Here it is. It's written. Key strategic message. So doing it your way is the way. Do you guys still remember the key strategic messaging for F3?
Oh, yeah. Never tried.
Yeah, I thought you have already buried F3. You don't want to hear or think about it. You just flashed out everything in the system. Okay. So identify, or the objective can be a site, an app, a software, or anything else you may think of that will improve fashion sales and deliver an effective customer experience. So you're going to get 2 marks for each. Remember, these marks are for the SMART criteria, not for the objective. These marks are for the SMART criteria, not the objective. So if your objective is bad or it's poorly explained, it means that the SMART criteria is also going to be poorly explained. Okay? So you tell us, how is your objective specific? How is your objective measurable? How is your objective achievable? How is your objective relevant? What is the duration for that objective? So that will be the first part of task 4. Then on part B, you are going to do the custom extensions again. You need to discuss custom extension and identify ways to provide key perceptual advantages for fetching. So you're going to discuss the 5 I's of achieving custom extensions to boost people's affiliation with the brand and create fetching's key perceptual advantages that are provocative, innovative, and exciting. You also need to highlight how the 5 I's will help claim more competitors' audience. Remember, currently as it stands, according to the brief, the competitors are claiming more audience from fetching. So, through customer extension, through 5 I's, how can fetching claim back its audience? You need to show us that. So discussing each I, you're going to get 2 marks. That's for the 4th student. Are there any questions on task 4? You guys must be very happy, yeah? Nijabulile. Ritabile. What does ritabile means? Thank you. So what does ritabile mean? Kara was laughing.
Ratabile means we are happy.
Oh, we are happy. So when you want to say, are you happy? What do you say?
Lethabile na.
Okay. Please ask them. They look very sad. All right, so we have done 4 tasks. So it means that 4 students are covered per group. Now we look at the last task, which is marketing channels and budgets. Can you see, guys, that the layout is still the same with what you did in your F3? Okay, good, Mtati. So you need to identify marketing communication channels used. Some of you in your presentation actually did not do this. No? You need to provide 3 marketing communication channels and provide the reasons why these channels matter to your strategy. So don't just tell us Facebook, TikTok, because you're good at those platforms. How do those platforms matter to your channel, to your strategy? No. Don't just say television, radio. How does it matter to your strategy? So all these, as I've always said, it's connected, it's interlinked with what you are going to get in question 3, segmentation. Yes, which is 3. So whatever target market you're going to get from segmentation will determine the types of the channels or the kinds of the channels that you're going to use to communicate with them. So for example, if you select senior citizens as your target audience, would you use TikTok as a communication channel? Abomkhulu nabogogo ku TikTok, like really, guys, really? So I hope you get what I'm trying to say, guys, right? How are you doing? So highlight 2 activations to be used to reach the selected target audience. For example, if personalized interactions are to be used through radio, digital aids, and social media are to be used, what would be the reach for each channel? What would be the reach for each channel? This matters. Remember, at the top on the brief, you need to return 20 million. They've given you 1.5 million to come up with this strategy. They want sales in the volume of, as you can see, where is it? Here. You are using 1.5 million to bring in revenue of 20 million. Can you see that, guys? That wasn't there in your okay. So for coming up with marketing communication channels, you get 6 marks, including justification. Then for the activations, you get 4 marks. So that's the first part of the last task. Then the second part, you need to highlight all the costs for digital strategy that you create first. So it is the same layout, guys. As you can see, but as I said, this is just a template. If you, in your strategy, you are not going to use app development or you are not going to use digital radio, you can remove them and put whatever that you're going to use. But you need to make sure that your budget does not exceed the one provided in the brief. So that's it about the 100%, the 100 marks that you need to get from the 5 tasks. Are there any questions about the 5 tasks that we've just discussed? Any questions? Any comments? Yes, Kia.
Sir, I got a bit lost on the allocation of task. Which student is gonna do which task?
You are going to discuss as a group.
Okay.
Yes, you are going to discuss as a group. You know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. I've already put you guys based on your strengths and weaknesses. The groups are already there, guys. Okay. When it comes to who is going to do the intro, for example, task 1 is for someone, you know, who can be able to set the scene, to set the tone, doing the introductions, starting. So if there's someone who can do that, then you guys can agree. You know, it's Kia who is going to do task 1 so that she introduces and she sets the fire for the presentation. Then if there's someone who's good with vote of thanks, concluding remarks, that person can do task 5. Are you answered? Are you answered, Kia? Yes, we go to level.
So sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay. So with the budget, is it compulsory to use like the 1.5 million as a whole?
Yes, that's what you've been given.
But
What?
let's say like you use 1 million, like, or like your strategy just like covers 1 million.
Yeah, then you need to, you know, what matters are the results, right? So if you believe that out of the given the 1.5 million that have been given, and you feel like you're going to increase sales, you are going to provide the solution that is requested um, from the client, and you can do that with 1 million, then we also need to motivate why you are leaving 500,000.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So how are we gonna see the return on investment?
Aaron?
How are we going to see the return on investment? Like,
you can have forecast, like you can predict. Your prediction doesn't have to be accurate.
oh, okay.
Yes. Any questions?
So can you please go back to task 2?
Go back where?
Task 2.
You want to do task 2 and 30.
No.
All right. Yeah, guys, you need to know all these tasks, even if you're not going to do them. Okay.
Yeah, the last sentence of part A. It says describing each environmental factor. So do we only focus on the environmental factors? Or do we look at all of them in the pestle analysis?
You look at all of them, you just get one component from all of them. So what happens? For example, if you've got economic factors, right? The E that I've just highlighted there, I don't know if you can see. So if you have got economic factors, you cannot come up with 5 economic factors there. That's inadequate. Like unemployment, retrenchments, this all under economic. No. You need to get one from political, get one from economic, get one from social, get one from technology, and so forth. Then we discuss them.
Okay, sir. Understood.
Did I answer you correctly? Is that what you were asking? Because I didn't get your question.
Yes, I misunderstood. I thought by environmental factor they're saying the E of the pestle analysis, but they're saying an
All of them.
environmental factor, as in
Yes.
yes.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
I mean
Okay,
environment.
I also get you. So guys, yeah, we need to emphasize on that. Remember, guys, we call these environmental factors, but on the pestle, there's also E for the environment. So here we are looking at the entire pestle, not the E component of the environment. Thank you, Tati. What else, guys? All right, then we move on to addition. Someone is saying something.
Oh,
speaking
on the
or level.
on that, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I didn't hear what you said previously.
Okay, but you can go back to the pestle analysis.
Hey, the way I'm being taught to go back. There we go.
Okay, so it's so you give one component of the factor, right?
Yes.
And then what the so what? And then do you close it off by just maybe giving the so what of everything that you have just mentioned? Or it's
It's
only the
up
so
to
what
you.
for the component?
It's up to you. You can either do the so what individual of each component or the so what of everything, because whether political, economic, social, there are still environmental factors, right? So you can give so what in generalizing everything that you've mentioned, or you can give so what on each component. Either way, it is fine. But what I want to see is that you come up with something from political. Let's say you mentioned Poppy Act, you mentioned something from economic, let's say you mentioned inflation, mentioned something from social. Social actually matters when it comes to fashion, because most of the items that you guys wear, your attires, they are also part of the social construct. Yesterday, it was Heritage Day, and there are some people who are still celebrating Heritage Day. Most of the attires that we're seeing from Heritage Day, they are based on the societal dynamics. So you also look at something from a social point of view and say how it influences fashion. Then you mention technology, you mention legal, but you need to make sure that it is 5. Are you answered, Lebo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go to the short one.
Sir, I'm also asking about task 2 in part B.
When I said let's go
Can
to
you
the
hear me, sir?
Yes, when I said let's go to the short one, I didn't mean
Say I'm the only one who's short in class.
Who taught you so? Okay, let's hear you, Kia. I'm there, part B.
So say yeah, so say in part B where they say provide insights about the competitors. When they say the main message, do they mean the main message of the whole brand or of maybe one of their
One
campaigns?
product.
Because I actually learned that there's a difference between a theme and a message.
Actually, don't know on that one. But as long as you've got something strong that that says something about the competitor, then that's it. So it doesn't have to be a message for a specific campaign or specific product. It has to be a message for the brand. What does the brand stand for?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because
Thank you,
we're
sir.
looking at the uh, competitor as an entity, not a competitor as a product or as a specific campaign.
Okay, sir.
All right. Any more questions? They said in level, you come in, you go out, you come in, you go out. What's happening there?
Teams kicked me
Pardon?
out for a bit, sir. Sorry. I got kicked out of the meeting for a bit.
All right. Then now we go to individual marks. That's why I say that despite being in the same group, you are not going to get the same marks because you present differently. Okay. And even if you did everything as a group from task 1 to task 5, you present differently. So the marks are going to be different, of course. So you are going to be marked based on the non-verbal cues, your body movements during the presentation. You are going to be marked based on that. I saw some of you guys were moving as if you are pressed, as if you need a bathroom. Those are non-verbal cues. And then you are laughing. The voice projection, you're also going to get 3 marks on voice projection. So you need to tone your voice. Don't be too loud and don't be too low. But you guys were I think it's only Karabo and Debo. Yes, some of you were very quiet, like you're whispering. They said he was whispering. I could not hear where I was seated. So you need to make sure, the last thing that we'd expect is being told that, can you please increase your volume? We can't hear you. Or can you please reduce your volume? You're being too loud. Yes, Kia.
So, sir, in terms of submission on Cork campus, how are we doing that?
Hey, we are
Since we
going
are
to.
doing each task.
Why you paparazzi? Why are you being too forward? We're going step by step. I'm going
Sir,
to
I
show
want
you.
to know.
Yeah, Papa, man. Okay, we'll get to that here. Don't worry. So, voice projection, eye contact. It's you, Kia, again. Eye contact. You're not looking at people. Busy looking at your screen, then you look at the slides. Am I lying? Guilty as charged, right?
No, sir, you're not lying.
Yes. So you need to make sure, guys, that you engage with the audience. You look at them, they look at you, you smile at them, even if you don't feel like smiling. Okay, so you're also going to get 2 marks for eye contact, engagement, Don't just sprint in the front, when you are presenting at the stage. Don't just sprint saying that I'm starting and I'm finishing as if it's a race, I think Stefan also emphasized this. Engage with the audience, enjoy the presentation. Then professional presentation. I think you know about this. You know, you have to be professional. Yes, you are allowed to crack some jokes, but you have to be professional. The conduct, how you endorse questions, you know, how you control your emotions. It's not only the frustrations, but I saw some of you guys were stuck to the extent like, you know, it's just a car that is run out of fuel or a phone run out of airtime. You can't say during the presentation, like when you are stuck, like, oh, I don't know what to say. Especially some of tutorial students, you don't do that, you know. Always find something to say. Thank you so
Mr. Sir,
you get it.
yo, I didn't hear you, excuse.
I know with English, sometimes you run out of airtime because it's not the language that you speak on a daily basis. You know, sometimes there's that concept that you want to explain and the vocabulary or the words have just disappeared. Then all of a sudden you don't know what to say, and you even wish you can say it in Sepedi or in Tswana or in Zulu. You know, so you need to anticipate all these things instead of just giving up and saying that I can't do this anymore. I think there's a student who said I can't do this anymore. You can't do that.
But
So,
sir,
pardon?
sir, please be honest. I was flowing, sir. I didn't stop or wanted to use different language or something. I went there and then everything was proper.
You said that you were
According to
glowing. You were glowing.
eh? Nah,
I
I
didn't hear
wasn't
you
glowing.
like this.
I didn't speak about glowing. Nah.
Yeah, you did
I,
well. You did well, honestly. You didn't say, what this word that you normally say in class? I just forgot it. This
I
bit.
care.
Yeah, Akiri. I didn't hear you saying Akiri. I didn't hear you saying that. Maybe I stepped out of the building, but yeah, I didn't hear you saying Akiri. Yeah, that's true. You did well, but you didn't manage your 5 minutes. Then there are
Uh,
going to be
all of us,
marks. Mhm.
all of us, we didn't manage 5 minutes. Though
No,
some
they said you did. Karabo actually was the fastest. I think it was 4 minutes 20 seconds, if I remember well. They were did Kia. I think Kia also did 5 minutes. Hey, the rest, Mara.
Yes, I did say. I did say.
Stop judging us, please.
No, that I know Luyanda was going to come like venom fire. Kurr. Okay,
Please don't judge us anymore.
I won't. I promise.
Thank you.
Then there's going to be marks for the entire group. You know, because we are also testing you guys and wanting to see if you can collaborate with others. You know, if you can be part of teamwork, you can work with other colleagues, especially in the future. So you are going to get marks as a group in terms of the content that you're going to have. For example, someone just gone out. Who is it? It's Lesedi. Is it level or level? So the content that you have, is it rich? You know, what is it that is being said versus what is on the slides? I think Stefan also mentioned that. Then you are going to be marked based on creativity as a group, creativity in terms of the slides, and creativity in terms of the idea that you are presenting to the fashion company. Then we are also going to look at the group sync. Are you syncing well as a team? Is there any form of teamwork? You know, Do you have separate slides or you have got slides all together? This is very crucial, guys. You need to have one file of slides. Rather have 25 slides for all the tasks. Then when you are presenting, you just professionally hand over to the next person. So once you are done with your introductions, you I hand over to my colleague Tati Mosala, who is going to take you through environmental analysis. Then Tati will step up and then do environmental analysis. Instead of Tati having her own slides, task 2, Rianda has got her own slides, task 3. So guys, we must have a single file as a group, okay? Then, of course, we're also going to see professionalism in terms of the group and conduct. For example, how do you relate in the group? I know there are some groups where tempers can be high. All of a sudden, members are not in good speaking terms. Sinijigerana namaflash, stuff like that. So we also need to see if you guys can be able to work together. So altogether now we have got 120 marks. Any questions about the additional marks?
Who are we in a group with? I'm joking.
Pardon?
So I was saying, who are we in a group with? But and then I said, I'm joking.
That's what I've been thinking about since the beginning of the brief. All right, then now we look at the technicality of the assignment. So as I said, this is a group assignment. You need to put your details on the cover slide, the first slide. So when you're the person who's going to do task A, you must be able to tell us that this is Karabo and this, but Karabo's name must also be on the screen. All right. Then the group presentation is only 25 minutes, meaning each student has got 5 minutes. So it's 5 minutes per individual or 5 minutes per task. So each task is equals to 5 minutes. A group is going to have 25 minutes. Students are strongly encouraged to stick to the allocated time or will be cut off when their time has lapsed. So please make sure that you stick to 5 minutes. The presentation must be typed using any clear font, but there must be consistency. Okay, so that's here I'm talking about the slides. Then when it comes to the submission of the presentation on Core Campus, you guys are going to submit the same document as a group on Core Campus. So let's say Luyanda is doing task 1, right? Let's say Luyanda is doing task 1. She's going to need tasks 2, 3, 4, and 5 from others. Once they give you their tasks, you compile them, then you upload on Core Campus. Am I clear in touch?
Sir,
Am I clear, Lebo?
Yes, sir.
So there are 3 groups, group 1, group 2, and group 3. So group 1 is going to have the same thing on Core Campus. Group 2 is going to have the same thing on Core Campus. Group 3 is going to have the same thing on Core Campus. However, marks are not going to be the same because you are going to be marked based on the presentation, but you are going to get marks from others. Okay, so for example, let's say Debo presents task 2. Level presents task 2 here. It's out of 20, right? Your focus was only on task 2. You are not only going to be marked out of 20. Here presented task 1 and is in the same group with level, right? Kia presented task 1 and is in the same group with level. Let's say Kia got 15 out of 20. And level here got 10 out of 20. It means that when we are marking here, level is going to get 15. But here you are going to get 10. The same thing with Kia. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
So I don't understand.
The mark that you are going to get per task, remember you are going to present per task. Can you understand here? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, the marks that you are going to get per task, you are going to get other marks from the students who presented on the tasks that, on the other tasks that were in the same group with you, who are in the same group with you. So if you presented the first task and you got 2 out of 20, right? And you are in the same group with level, and level got, on the second task, level got, let's say 15 out of 20. When we're marking the second task, you are going to get the marks that level got, and level is going to get the marks that you got.
Oh, I understand now, sir.
I'm going to show you guys clearly when you're in class, okay? But even if you don't present on strategy, for example, you only presented on the introduction, you are going to get marks for strategy that were presented by another person because you're in the same group.
So, sir, if one person flops, we all flop
To some extent,
on a
yes.
specific task.
Yes, to
Okay.
some extent it is the case. But remember, you also have additional marks here. You also have additional marks here, you know? And these additional marks, they are going to be based on you. So it depends with the kind of a flop. So if someone, presented well on the content, but they're fidgeting, they're not going to get marks here. These marks cannot be shared. The marks that you're going to share are based on the tasks and the group work. So that's why even if 3 people flop, you are not going to get the same marks with that person who flopped. Yes, Luyanda.
Sir, Karabo Salam has asked if Pretoria students are going to be there.
Are you Karabo's spokesperson?
He can't talk. I get it. I know for. Oh.
Okay, can you ask again?
He's asking if Pretoria students are going to be there when we present again.
Yes, they'll be there.
Okay, I think he's answered now.
They'll be there, but you're not going to be in the same group with Pretoria students. So your prayers were answered. Okay? I know I don't understand what issues Karabo has with Pretoria students. Not Pretoria students, Pretoria people. I heard him in the presentation
He
saying
said they
something
were
about
bland. He said they were boring. If I remember correctly, that's what he said.
no, the number of students in this class, it's even. I mean, 3 groups can come out of this class. So there's no need to mix you guys with the Pretoria students. Lebo, you are saying something?
No, see, I was just saying that the only problem with them is that they were allowed to take more time than us. Like whenever we were taking more time, we're like saying conclude. And then when it came to them, like they even took like 10 minutes.
Are you for real, Lebo? Are you
That
sure?
is true.
Yeah, but that's what happened though, and you all kept quiet when it happened.
Mm-hmm. I know that's
Really?
right.
I can't
And you
remember
say, and say,
that. Now Tankiso is about to attack me with time. Yes, Tankiso.
uh, the unfortunate part is you were stopping us, and they were never stopped, but you did stop us. Okay, thank you. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
okay, you can conclude. No. But say that was unfair. Honestly speaking, that was
Tankiso.
unfair.
Tankiso. I didn't stop you. I said conclude. I didn't say stop talking. I said conclude.
To me, conclude is stop. Conclude,
Really?
stop. You can stop.
Level,
What
you stopped.
what is the synonym? What is the synonym of
No, conclude means can you please sum up what you are saying, not stop.
what?
Sum it.
What?
Yeah, but
Please answer the
still,
what is the
Aaron?
synonym of
No, there's a difference between stopping and concluding. How?
yeah? What is the synonym of conclude?
TK,
It's
look at the
summing up.
conclusion when you're writing an
Uh,
essay. You
It's
conclude
summing
I
what
up.
you were saying. You conclude your introduction, your body.
True. Tell him, Kia.
yeah, yeah.
You panicked. You panicked when I said, can you please conclude? I didn't say, can you please stop?
Yeah, but at least I passed. Say, no problem. I passed.
Everyone passed. No one failed.
Yeah,
sir.
the aim is to pass.
Okay. Are there
Sir.
any questions with regards to the yes level?
Oh, so I don't have a question
I level,
regarding the whole
level. Level, I need to send
assignment.
the man. Sir,
Nah, but like I wanna ask, where do I like complain when like with my marks? Because I'm not like quite here.
you are not happy with your marks.
We
Yes.
are not here.
Okay. So what happens? Yeah, it's your right to complain about the marks. There is the appeal processes. I think you guys are well aware of it because I was told that students know the procedures. So there are the appeal process that you need to follow if you are not happy with your marks. And unfortunately, I don't get involved there because I do not have the powers to alter marks. You know, I'm not an administrator of core campus. I only upload on that system. So you need to go through the appeal process. I think you involve the academic manager or the branch manager you involve Karike and Francisca.
So based on what we submitted on core campus, nothing from there was marked.
Pardon?
I'm saying based on what we submitted, we had to submit on core campus, nothing there was marked. The marks were already there.
Yes. Yes, as
How?
I told you guys, that's for moderation. The reason why you had to submit on core campus, it was for moderation. So that your marks can be audited. So that's why it's tricky to complain about your marks, you know, because the marks get audited. They can see whether the assessor was being lenient or was being tough. So those marks get audited by the external examiner. So even at the moment, it's too early to appeal your marks because they are not official yet. They haven't been audited. I think I mentioned this before, didn't I? Level?
All right, sir.
Yeah, so once I think it will be next week or a week after. So once the marks have been approved, you can then start the appeal processes. You answered. Who asked about appealing marks?
It was me, but like, yeah, it's okay.
You answered. You're still not happy.
Yeah. It seems like a long process, yo.
Yeah, it
Mahi.
is a long process because why would you fail you deliberately, honestly? Level. For you here and find. You want 100%?
No, sir. Man, it's cool. Maybe like it's my expectations, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I do understand. I do understand. Maybe we can discuss this more in class, eh?
Okay.
All right. Any questions, guys?
Say,
Yes, thank you, so.
you said you're going to tell us on how you're going to group us.
No, I didn't say today.
Okay.
I do have the group.
How, but sir, just tell us now so
I
that
do
we
have.
can
We'll
get things in
discuss that.
order.
We'll discuss that in class. But yes, I do have. Everyone is in the group as we is. Yeah, I do have it here with me.
So, but okay.
Leander, let it be a surprise, eh? I think you can be patient enough. Come to class next week.
Just time.
You
It's
barely come to
time.
class, Leander. Come to class next week, then you'll be able to know who you're doing the assignment with.
Okay.
All right, are we all good in terms of the S1? Karabo? Are you good? Yeah.
All good, sir.
But you have been very, very quiet.
I'm all good, sir.
All right, let's take a break and then do one lesson for today. We are going to look at the very exciting topic today. Okay, let's meet at 5 to 4. Okay. Okay, Karabo, I'm now back. Let me just let others know in the group. Level.
Sure, sir.
Waiting for others here while this will come.
Sir.
Who is this one written from digital agency? Luyanda. Hello, Flum. Thank you. So, how are you? TK. Okay, guys, we're waiting for others to just join now. Level, you think Stefan was harsh?
Nah, sir.
Pardon?
Nah, he was not.
Okay. There's only Karabu in here. There's no one else. Hello, thank you, so.
Hello, sir. I'm back.
Now you changed your name.
What do you mean, sir?
You know what I mean. Karabo, did you receive a timetable for this week? Yeah. Okay, we should be starting just now, Kia. Who is missing here? It's Intati. Okay, I'm sure she'll join us later. Okay, guys, we can start.